Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cross Culture Critic. I'm Chris.
And I'm Joe.
And welcome to the show. We are getting close to Christmas, Joe.
Yeah.
How's it going? Do you start this early? Do you set up the tree or anything early? Or
Yeah, I like to do everything after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So probably Black Friday, I'll get off work, and I'll probably set my tree up right in front of the Goonies and Back to the Future posters.
Nice.
And yeah, I'll that's about all I do is a Christmas tree and hang the stockings, and that's about it. But yeah, I get into it. I like Thanksgiving to be my kickoff, and then I start watching my Thanksgiving or my Christmas, my holiday movies and all that stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. Do you decorate the outside? Any lights outside? Or
No, I was thinking about doing something this year around my porch out front. I think that'd be nice. But generally, in the past, I've never in my entire life put lights up.
When we moved in, when we bought our house 3 years ago, I was so excited because I was like, I'm going to Griswold this up.
Yeah.
And the problem is our house doesn't have any, like our roof slopes in the front. So there's no gutters to hang lights from.
Okay.
And it's 2 stories. And so you have to like clip these lights onto the shingles. And we didn't have a ladder, so I bought one of those crappy poles at like ACO.
Yeah.
And I spent about 2 hours one Saturday messing with this stupid pole trying to clip on the lights, and I'd get like 5 up, and then they'd all tear down.
Oh, I would have loved to have been the neighbor watching.
I was so frustrated. I think at one point I picked up the pole, chucked it across the yard, and screamed, F you, Christmas. And from that point on, I have not been allowed to decorate the outside of our house for Christmas. My wife puts a few lights on some trees outside, and that's about it. And then, yeah, we're kind of the same way. Thanksgiving weekend, we get up we put a tree in the TV room. That's our artificial tree with all the family stuff.
Yeah.
And then we'll go out like a week later and get a real tree for our front room. And that's kind of the hands-off tree that Kelly decorates with nice lights and nice ornaments. And the kids are not allowed around, and the dog drinks the water out of.
Yeah. And it burns up when Grandpa lights a cigar, the stogie by
Exactly. And the cat gets electrocuted and all that. I wish my dog would get electrocuted on that, but that's a whole other podcast, my hatred for my dog. So, but yeah, we do Christmas up nice. And the reason we are talking about that is because today's December 8th, so we are, is that 2 weeks ahead? That's about 2 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah.
So we are in the home stretch, and for our listeners, we are going to do 2 Christmas episodes. So this week and next week, it's pretty much all Christmas.
Okay.
And so we've got our Santa hats on. We are dressed up like Buddy the Elf. It's good to go. And I wanted to start with a Christmas icebreaker.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've heard of this thing. There is the Wonderful Christmas Time Challenge.
No.
Which people do. I've seen this on Twitter. I've heard about it on NPR. Basically, people will try to go the entire Christmas season without hearing Paul McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they hate that song.
Oh, I like it.
But they would, like, I've heard of stories of people sitting in a restaurant when the song comes on and literally getting up to dash out of the restaurant for 5 minutes so they don't have to hear it. And I don't really get the hatred for that song. I don't really like it that much, but I don't hate it. It's
like there's a lot of
worse songs.
Exactly.
So we're going to talk about that. What are the Christmas songs do you try to avoid all season? Because we're going to talk good songs, but what are the bad ones? What do you try and avoid?
I like the classics. See, here's my thing. I like the classics, and then I like this oddball, fork in the road, like this oddball group of songs. But the other oddball group that I don't like is like the number one, like Hippopotamus. Like, I want a hippopotamus.
Yes. Oh,
Hate
I
that.
Stand that.
And then I hate Santa Baby. Those are my 2 that, like, I don't ever want to hear for the rest of my life.
Santa Baby's just a weird song.
It's goofy.
Like, it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because
it's Marilyn Monroe singing Happy Birthday to JFK weird.
Yeah, but about Santa, and it's like a little too much. Like, I'm like, I don't need that innuendo. Michael Bublé does it, too. Has a Santa Baby song. Yeah,
see, I love Michael
like
Bublé. I love Michael Bublé. Like, I love his music, but I love his Christmas album. That's one of like the Christmas albums that I listen to. I listen to like Amy Grant Christmas,
of course.
Neil Diamond Christmas.
I didn't know isn't he Jewish?
Yeah, but he's got 2 Christmas albums.
Really?
He's got 2. I like the Reliant K Christmas album.
I do like that one.
And I like, what did we just say? The
Bublé.
Michael Bublé.
Okay.
And actually, Justin Bieber has a good Christmas album, and Taylor Swift. Like
Really?
those are kind of
I
like
could
my.
see Taylor Swift. I could see Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one I try to avoid. Well, obviously, I think if you're anyone with a soul, you kind of have to hate Christmas Shoes.
Christmas Shoes.
Oh, you've never heard Christmas Shoes by New Song?
I think I have.
Oh, about the guy who's at
I
the
don't think I've heard it enough.
and he's waiting in line and he's miserable about Christmas, and this kid comes up and he doesn't have enough money to buy shoes, but he needs to buy these pretty shoes because his mama's dying and he wants to have her nice shoes to wear for Christmas when mama meets Jesus. And it's the most emotionally manipulative song I've ever heard. Patton Oswalt does a whole routine on this song.
Does he?
Oh, he tears apart. I'm almost glad the song exists just because of that. Because he's just trying to picture this idea of a Jesus who's like so catty about what a mom's shoes. His line is like, "I died for your sins, but those pumps are unforgivable." And yeah, my dad actually sang that song once at church, unironically.
No.
Yeah, that's just one of those songs like those Christmas make you cry. I don't like "Baby It's Cold Outside."
Yeah, that one's got...
That's a rapey song.
Yeah, and that one's got like too much play because of New Girl. What's her name from the New Girl?
The girl de Chanel.
There you go.
And I actually like her version.
I do like her
more.
Oh, but you know what? Now that we say that, her group that she does, her and that guy, yeah,
I like that album a lot.
and they have two. They have two Christmas albums. I love those too. But I don't like that one. It's Cold Outside. Not a fan of that.
Well, especially this year, basically, I can guarantee you, we're recording this slightly before Thanksgiving, and I can guarantee you, I'm going to leave, and there's going to be another politician or Hollywood star accused of sexually harassing someone.
Yeah.
I think today the head of Disney was accused of it. The head of
Seriously?
Pixar, and John Lasseter, and so I'm like, this year, why don't you just take a break, radio stations? Don't play "Baby It's Cold Outside."
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah, so that would be, and the other one, I mean, this is kind of a wild card because it's so established. I do not like "Do You Hear What I Hear."
See, all those the classics. I do like anything that Nat King Cole sings.
Okay.
Anything all those I do like that is like Christmas. That is like a Christmas song.
Yeah, I think my problem with "Do You Hear What I Hear" is I get really turn into a theological twit with it.
Okay.
Where it's there's the whole "said the king to the people everywhere, listen to what I say, worship." The king didn't do that. The king said kill the babies. And that's not going to make it into a Christmas song.
That's a tough song to try and knock out.
I also don't like Little Drummer Boy most times, but there is the version with David Bowie and Bing Crosby that I really like.
There's another good one, Little Drummer Boy, by another group that I'll remember by in the next 5 minutes. But it's a fantastic one as well. That I'm trying to think. It's like a modern group. You can keep talking.
Is it Pentatonics or whatever? Because I know the big Christmas one, or
you know what they did do one. Oh, the Dandy Warhols.
Okay.
The Dandy Warhols do a Little Drummer Boy that is fantastic.
Okay.
But that's a song that I like, and even the original, I like it. But that's one that when people go to cover, let's do a Christmas song, they'll do Little Drummer Boy. And
so Dandy Warhols has a good one.
Yeah, so the Dandy Warhols have a good one, and the classic, the original, is good. But that is one that I think when bands are let's do a Christmas album, Little Drummer Boy, they put on there, and then it's not if you hear over the Christmas season, if you hear 30 different kinds of Little Drummer Boy, it's not fun.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about what we do like now. Now, you mentioned you don't set up anything until after Thanksgiving. Now, do you listen to Christmas music?
No.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so you don't. Well, you probably are not a 100.3 listener anyway.
No.
I don't know. Do you listen to Jay Towers in the morning? Or?
I like Jay Towers, but I don't listen to his morning show.
I don't like Jay Towers. So
No.
I hope he's not listening to this. But anyways, that was. Yeah, so you don't listen at all before Thanksgiving. Was that growing up entrenched in you, or?
It was. I don't want to say it was entrenched in me, but the way our society was. Like,
Okay.
I feel like growing up, it's been in the last 20 years where, you know, after Halloween, they start playing Christmas music.
It has happened November 1st before the radio switched over.
But I remember, like, growing up, you started listening to Christmas music 2 weeks before Christmas. You know,
Really?
and then
That late?
yeah, and then like it was, you know, and now all of a sudden it's, you know, here I am 40 years old, and it's like the day after, you know, 4th of July, we start playing Christmas music. So it's crazy. I don't understand it. But there are some good tunes that I do love, and I do love to hear that aren't in the normal playlist, and I usually have to find them on my own, you know, and the Apple Music or whatever the case may be. But yeah, there's some songs out there that I love to hear and I can rock out to all the time.
See, I grew up the same way. Well, not 2 weeks before Christmas. That's insane. But we would start Thanksgiving. My dad was huge on this because my dad like loved Christmas. Loves Christmas. He's still around. But it would be Thanksgiving. Santa Claus would come down Woodward on the Thanksgiving parade, and then we could pull out the Christmas music. And I tried to stick to that for like the longest time. And probably in the last few years, I started moving it up to probably right around like the week of Thanksgiving. I would start listening to Christmas music because I'd start getting in the holiday mood and looking forward to going out to Thanksgiving stuff. And then we'd start the night before Thanksgiving, going to take the kids to Hines Park and see the lights. And then this year, I actually started like November 3rd.
Really?
And I don't know what it was because normally I've tried it before. And it's just been like this, oh, this doesn't sound right. This doesn't feel right. This year, I don't know if it was just such a crappy year or what, but I was like, I need some Christmas. And, you know, but I can't start with I can't jump right into Santa Claus is Coming to Town or anything like that.
Okay.
Like, I have certain albums that I'll, like, ease myself into it.
Like what?
Over the Rhine, which is a group I love, they put out some Christmas music that... They're not traditional carols. Like, they might do, like, I think they do O Little Town of Bethlehem on one of them. But most of their songs are just kind of lower key, sadder songs or kind of jazzy arrangements. And they're all original. So they're about people struggling through the holidays or going home for Christmas or how they're blue on Christmas. And I like those. Like, that kind of gets me into the mood where it's Christmassy, but it's not totally Christmassy yet.
Okay.
And so those albums are like Snow Angels and Blood Oranges in the Snow. And I love that. Like, I ease into Christmas that way. And so that's kind of my kickoff. But then, yeah, I can't listen to the big stuff until parade's over.
See, I think, like, now that I'm thinking more about it, I don't even think I'm an after Thanksgiving guy. Like,
really?
That's when I start watching movies. Like, I kick off Christmas by Thanksgiving night.
Oh, wait. If it's a movie, save the movie for the next one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're doing that next one.
Yeah, so movies I kind of get into right after Thanksgiving, but music... I do. I want to say it's maybe 2 weeks before Christmas.
I can kind of see the merit of that, though, because I would say probably right around December 20th, I don't want any more Christmas music.
Yeah.
Like, I'll kind of rebound, like, right around Christmas Eve. But, there does hit a point where, like, I'm like, I can't hear any
Yeah, because, like, growing up, there wasn't the... all day, you know, all Christmas, all the time.
No, it was kind of like interspersed. Like,
exactly.
You might hear a Christmas song put in.
Exactly. And so I remember, like, my memories of Christmas was our family did a big Christmas Eve. So Christmas Eve was the big thing in my house. And Mom would put Nat King Cole on the stereo, you know, the record on.
Yeah.
And so we would listen to Nat King Cole. And then when CDs came out, we got the CD. And it was the Nat King Cole CD. And so to me, like, especially like my house here, like Christmas Eve night, it's awesome. We put Nat King Cole on, we put the fireplace on, and kind of get that nice little warm, cozy.
Isn't it weird, too? Like how those, like the stuff you listened to when you were a kid. So you imagine Christmas Eve, someone puts on some Nat King Cole. And it's like if you do it now, it's like a chemical reaction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I'm a kid again. And for us... And this is weird, and my wife hates that this is what I grew up listening to on Christmas. And I kind of hate that it's what I grew up listening to on Christmas, except I love it. Oak Ridge Boys Christmas.
Oh.
I mean, this was like 1980, and this is like, I would never listen to the Oak Ridge Boys outside of Christmas.
Sure.
But I found that on Amazon a few years ago. It was like I'm 10 again. As soon as I hear, gosh, I can't remember how it's like Jesus is born today. It's horrible stuff, but it's like, oh, I'm at my grandma's house.
Yeah.
So yeah, or Amy Grant Christmas, like Tennessee Christmas. I hear that, and I am in my car on my way to my grandma's house at 5 years old. Like,
just the cover of the Amy Grant Christmas.
Yeah, she's out there in the
snow.
woods. And
she's got like the Santa hat on, the lipstick. Oh my gosh, I was
Amy Grant
crushing on Amy Grant.
I think everyone was crushing on
she's
Amy
gorgeous.
Grant. And she could have done a whole career.
She still is gorgeous.
Music. I haven't seen her in a while, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, she still is gorgeous.
Yeah. Or Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton.
Oh.
They did a Christmas album, and I still pull that one out.
Well, didn't they also have like a variety show?
Oh, I think they did, like a special one.
Yeah, it would do like a Kenny Rogers Christmas. And he would like eat his chicken and and he would have different guests come on and perform. And I think it would always close with it. I might be making all of this up.
Wait, let me see what do you guys say?
But I think it would always close with the duet with Dolly. Like, I think the two of them, like, he would have people that come on, and then he'd do, like, a little sketch comedy. They would do a song, more songs than sketches. And then at the end, it would be, like, I thought I would remember, like, him and Dolly would come out, and that would kind of close out the show, and they'd sing, and then everyone would come out behind them, like, at the end of Saturday Night Live.
Maybe. I vaguely remember watching something where it was them in a church singing, and like they were reenacting the Christ story and everything while they're singing. But yeah, I hear some Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. That's Christmas to me.
Yeah, it's even Islands in the Stream.
Oh, that is what we are.
Islands in the Stream. That is what we are. Oh, I love that song.
Yeah.
I love it. I can't find it on vinyl though. I cannot find it.
It's got to be out.
I know, and every record store I go to, they're like, "Oh man, we have that stuff all the time." Okay, well you don't have it now, and I can't find it anywhere.
And
I don't want to go on Amazon because that's cheating. Like I like to go to record stores and find it. Yeah. And so I cannot find that. But yeah, neither here nor there.
Yeah. Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. All this stuff that you never hear on the radio. Like, I know a lot of people get really excited about 100.3 switching over to All Christmas. So, like, the point where a fun thing to do is go to their website when they're not playing Christmas music after Halloween, and how many people are pissed off that they have not started playing Christmas music yet. And are like, their Facebook is just blowing up with people. Why aren't you playing Christmas music? Jesus was born.
It's 2 minutes after midnight.
It's exactly what they're doing. Like, when are you going to start? But I hate it because they only play the same, like 20 songs.
That's exactly it. Over. It's all the good stuff. Like we were talking about that Zoe, like She and Him, like two fantastic albums there. Like one of my all-time favorite songs is by the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, and it's called This Time of Year.
Okay.
And download it. It's fantastic. And it's just like such a good song. It's such a good song, and that will never be played on the radio. Never.
The other one, and I've started listening to this a lot this year, is because we're recording this before Thanksgiving, but I'm already listening to Christmas music. But the Pogues, Fairy Tale of New York.
Absolutely.
You can't play that because they say in it.
Yeah.
I got turned on to that one. It was in a Bill Murray special.
Yeah.
And I like that.
I saw like a list like a few years ago, and that was like in the top, like I want to say 3 or 5 top Christmas songs of all time.
That's a good song.
And yeah, it is. That's a great one. When the first line is Christmas Eve, babe. In the drunk tank.
Yeah.
And when you start a song like that, it's going right to the top.
Or, what's the other? And they used to play this one on 100.3 because it's where I heard it the first time. They don't play it anymore, probably because it's too sad. Dan Fogelberg, Same Auld Lang Syne. I like that song. That is a good song.
That's a good song. Again, that probably trends more towards New Year's. But I do love that. I love Dan Fogelberg. But another one that I love, and it's corny and it's goofy, but I love Gwen Stefani, is Oi to the World.
I have not heard that.
And so No Doubt did, instead of Joy to the World, they did Oi to the World. and it's just a great little tune, and I think it's fantastic. That's another one that I like. I have like my Christmas playlist like on my phone, and so it's like stuff that is not played on the radio because that stuff was all kicked into the it's beaten like a dead horse. So it's like I like to get in my car and I listen to that stuff. So that's probably what I listened to prior to 2 weeks before Christmas. I'll listen to like my mix of Christmas, and then as I get towards the actual holiday, then it's
more of the classics.
The classics, exactly.
Do you remember when, I don't think they do as much anymore, when every Christian group had to do a Christmas album?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, did you guys missed a boat on like doing a Scala La 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 or something like that?
Yeah, we did. It was something that was always talked about, and we never did it. And now I kind of look back and I'm glad we did.
You should be glad because oddly enough, a lot of Christian Christmas albums suck.
Yeah.
Like just
really
really
Reliant
bad.
K has
Reliant
a great
K's
one.
Is really good. That's a fun one.
The Supertones, I don't know if they put out a Christmas album or they just put a couple Christmas songs on an album that came out.
Okay.
But I remember doing the not the Holy Rollers tour, the Ska Mania tour. So it was Supertones, Five Iron, and us. And at the end, we would close out every show by playing Joy to the World.
Okay.
And like Matt would take a verse, I would take a verse, Reese would take a verse. And I had a blast doing that. Like that was a lot of fun going out and singing that every night. That was a good time. But again, that's not like the like a song where you're listening to it. That was a show and an event that you're doing. So that's why I liked it. But yeah, like that type of stuff, if it's a whole album put out by a band, I mean, you gotta do.
Well, the worst is when they try and write original Christmas stuff. Because, I dig, Chris Tomlin has a Christmas album out that I love. I think that is a good album. And it's all, for the most part, it's all traditional hymns. And I like that. But then you have, Stephen Curtis Chapman, who is kind of the whipping boy of this podcast, I guess.
He is.
But,
he is.
He has one, and it's you can just tell every song is, calculated to make you cry. My grandma used to have Christmas, but now she's dead with Jesus.
Right.
Or Michael W. Smith tried to jazz it up a bit, and he's not a jazzy guy.
But I do love me some Michael W. Smith.
His original Christmas one is really good, though. He did one that was almost all choral music.
Okay.
And it's really good.
Yeah. You want to know another one that I don't like? Mannheim Steamroller.
I never got the appeal of that.
Yeah, I don't like that, and I don't like the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, da-da-dum, dum, da-da-dum, bum. Yeah, I can't stand it. And every year, they probably have 30 different groups, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm guessing they don't come to Detroit every Christmas. We're the, I'm guessing there's one that plays in Cleveland and one that plays in Kansas City and one... But that group, I can't stand it. I don't want electric guitar.
No, give me some country.
Yeah, or acoustic or a nice piano.
Yep, or kind of jazzy.
Yeah,
that's what I like at Christmas. Give me some Michael Bublé.
Yeah,
I do love that Michael Bublé Christmas album.
I do.
It's good. I do like the Gettys. I don't know if you've heard them at all.
I haven't heard them.
Keith and Kristen Getty. They're kind of like the big worship people now.
Okay.
But they're Irish, and they do this Irish Christmas album. We saw them in concert last year, and they are fantastic.
Oh, really?
They're the ones who wrote "In Christ Alone."
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah.
I got to check them out.
And their Christmas stuff's really good. What about novelty stuff? Did you grow up at all with Twisted Christmas? Bob Rivers?
No.
Okay.
The fact that I have to think about it so much, I'm going to say no.
This was in the 80s. I remember hearing it in 5th grade, and I still listen to it. It's corny. It's kind of stuff you'd hear on the radio.
Okay.
Really silly songs, so it might be...
I love Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas.
Who doesn't?
That's great. I remember having that record growing up.
Uh-huh.
And that was a fun one. So when I hear that, nowadays, and it starts off hey, Dave, or whatever, and it's
Alvin!
Exactly. And Christmas.
Oh, Patton Oswalt is another great one on that.
Oh, does he?
If you slow it down, it's they're singing normally, but then you hear Dave, because his voice is normal, and it's the devil. So it's that was great, Alvin. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that's funny.
Weird Al has some good Christmas stuff.
Weird Al does.
Christmas at Ground Zero.
Christmas at Ground Zero, yep. That was a great one. And I just heard a thing. This is a little tangent. I just heard that Weird Al. Did you hear about his next
his new
tour?
It sounds awesome. Yeah, he's
awesome. I didn't think it did.
Oh, really? I would love to go see him do. Like, he's doing stripped down, so no videos or anything like that.
No dressing up.
No dressing up, and it's no parodies. It's just his other songs, which I love. Like, I love some of those songs, like
his original.
Yeah,
like they're like fantastic.
Party at the Leper Colony, things like that. I love that idea. I've never seen Weird Al. I am trying to get this one. It's in Ann Arbor.
He's a bucket list for me.
Yeah. Same here.
Last year, my sister, her boyfriend, and my niece all went and saw him in concert.
Nice.
But the thing is, like, he's another one that, like, you wouldn't think that, like, tickets would be as expensive as they are.
Oh, he sells out too.
Yeah, like, I wanted to see Huey Lewis in the News this summer, and they were playing in Windsor, in Canada, and it was $120 a ticket.
In Canadian money?
In Canadians, which is roughly
That's probably about
100
here.
Yeah. American. And so I'm like, dude, that's too much for Huey
Who does he
Lewis.
think he is, Miranda Sings?
Exactly. And so I ended up not seeing Huey Lewis, but Weird Al is kind of the same thing. Like, you think, like, Weird Al, okay, tickets probably $40. They're not. They're like $85 to go see Weird Al.
Well, he would play at Freedom Hill or Meadowbrook every few years.
Meadowbrook is where he played.
And those would usually be cheaper. You can get cheaper tickets to that, but he was probably at, like, Caesars or something, I would guess.
No, he was. I think he was out at Meadowbrook.
Really? Oh, wow.
I believe he was at Meadowbrook last year.
See, now I saw Steve Martin and Martin Short, and I paid like $25 for them on Groupon, but we upgraded and it was still like $50. So it wasn't horrible. I can't imagine Weird Al charging more.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, all the bands that I usually go see, are $10, $20 to go see them, punk bands and stuff like that. And then you get into these, big time. I was telling you, what I paid to go see Miranda Sings.
Yeah,
and
that's insane.
Exactly. That's a huge ticket there.
Well, I think, and okay, this is even more of a tangent, but like in Detroit, now we're down to having one arena.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get cheap tickets to anything there.
No.
Like, there's no competition.
No, there really isn't. Your best value is the Royal Oak Music Theater.
Yeah, I like going to see and stuff.
So it's either like it's a small club where the band hasn't gotten big enough. Like, you either got in on the grassroots ground level, or Little Caesars, arena.
We went to Royal Oak Music Theater to go see Matt Carney a few years ago, and he was fine. But the group that opened for him, Judah and the Lion, they were just starting out, and they were good. They were like, really good, and now they're getting pretty big.
I've seen some great shows at the Royal Oak Music Theater. I think we're getting off topic here.
Yeah, we are getting off topic.
So let's get back on topic. We could talk about that some other time.
You got any other ones you love? Anything that you have to hear before Christmas is over?
Again, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. If you're not a Boss Tones fan out there, I would say just go to YouTube it if you want, and just look it up. It's called Mighty Mighty Boss Tones this time of year. It's just a nice, you're not expecting it. You're not expecting it to be a good song for Christmas. You think like the ska band putting something out, a ska core band. But that's the song that when I think of Christmas, that's what I want to hear.
And for me, it's probably Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I love that song for some reason. Like, if you get the right person to sing it. And I think right now it's, I'm blanking on the stinking name. He was in Hamilton, Leslie Odom. Okay. He was in Hamilton. He put out a Christmas album last year, and it is phenomenal.
Really?
Like, really, really great Christmas album. I like that a lot. And then Oh Holy Night. I have to hear Oh Holy Night. Like,
Oh Holy Night. There's a few, like, right around Christmas that, like, you gotta listen to. Like, on Christmas Eve, a lot of churches do, like, Christmas Eve services. And, you sit around with your candle and, you sing and stuff like that. And it's just kind of chill.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And with that, if I could only hear one Christmas song, and I even think it's weird that I'm saying the Boss Tones. That's my one that I have to hear every year. The other one that I really like is Silent Night by Taylor Swift. She does a rendition of Silent Night that isn't a normal melody of Silent Night, and it is fantastic.
I heard Miley Cyrus do a version of Silent Night too. That was the same thing. Like, it was It was more traditional, but
Was she topless?
She was
singing
not
it?
topless.
Okay.
But she was fantastic, and I'm not a Miley Cyrus person.
No.
So yeah, I think we've covered every Christmas song.
Bam.
And I think next year we record our own.
Yeah.
And
we're gonna do a cross culture critic Christmas album.
And it's a tie-in. You can only hear the album if you buy sacrilegious brand communion wafers.
Communion wafers.
So
yep.
We're gonna make it happen.
Cool Ranch.
Coming in 2000.
Cool
Ranch communion wafers. So yeah. So we're gonna close. But if you have more Christmas songs you love, send it our way at Facebook or email. And to prepare for next week's episode, why don't you tell us what Christmas movies or TV specials you love? And answer this. Die Hard, is it a Christmas movie? So we will talk about that next time. Joe, we're on Instagram. Where else are you?
I'm on Facebook, but you probably can't find me. I don't like people all that much.
Yeah.
So
you can find me. I like the publicity. So I'm CDub727 on Twitter, and make sure you visit crossculturecritic.com. We'll see you in a week.
See you.